Black single dad quit after arguing with his manager, then the female CEO begged him to stay. The resignation letter hit the desk so hard that several papers slid onto the floor. An entire office went silent. Employees stopped typing. Phones stopped ringing. Even the hum of the air conditioning seemed to disappear. A black single father who had spent nearly a decade giving everything he had to the company was finally walking away. His manager thought he was making an emotional mistake. His co-workers thought he would calm down and return. But as he walked through the glass doors and stepped into the bright afternoon sunlight, he had no intention of coming back. What nobody knew was that within 48 hours, the company's powerful female CEO would be standing at his front door, asking him not to leave. And the reason had nothing to do with profits. Before we begin, please like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who believes in kindness and second chances, and subscribe to Heartwarming Tales for more emotional stories that remind us that courage and compassion still matter. 38-year-old Micah Turner never imagined his life would become so difficult. 10 years earlier, he had been living a simple but happy life with his wife, Kendra, and their newborn daughter, Aria. Their dreams were modest. They wanted a loving home, stable jobs, and a future filled with family memories. Then tragedy arrived without warning. Kendra was killed by a distracted driver while returning home from work. One phone call shattered everything. One moment transformed Micah from a husband into a grieving widower and a single father. For months, he barely functioned. The grief felt endless. Every room reminded him of what he had lost. Every family photograph felt like a wound. But whenever he looked at little Aria, he knew giving up wasn't an option. She needed him. She needed someone to read bedtime stories, help with homework, attend school plays, and cheer at soccer games. So Micah made a promise to himself. No matter how difficult life became, he would be the father his daughter deserved. The years that followed tested him in ways he never expected. He woke before sunrise every day. Prepared breakfast. Packed lunches. Drove Aria to school. Worked full shifts. Returned home to cook dinner, clean the apartment, help with homework, and prepare for the next day. Many nights he fell asleep on the couch from exhaustion. Yet he never complained. Love gave him strength. Aria became the center of his world. At work, Micah was known as one of the most dependable employees in the company. He worked for a large logistics corporation where efficiency and deadlines ruled everything. Whenever projects fell behind schedule, Micah stepped in. Whenever emergencies happened, Micah volunteered. Whenever someone needed help, Micah showed up. Co-workers trusted him. Clients respected him. Even senior executives occasionally praised his performance. Unfortunately, his direct manager was a different story. His manager, Vernon Chase, believed fear was the best way to motivate people. He constantly pressured employees. Demanded overtime. Ignored personal circumstances. To Vernon, workers were resources rather than human beings. For years, Micah tolerated it. He kept his head down and focused on providing for Aria. But every person has a breaking point. Micah's arrived on a beautiful spring afternoon. Aria had spent months preparing for a special father-daughter recognition ceremony at school. The event meant everything to her. She talked about it every day. She even created a handmade invitation decorated with glitter, stars, and colorful drawings. At the top, she had written one sentence that touched Micah deeply. "My hero is my dad." He promised he would attend. Nothing would stop him. Or so he thought. Just hours before the ceremony, Vernon announced an emergency meeting. Attendance was mandatory. No exceptions. Micah respectfully explained the situation. He explained how important the event was. How much it meant to his daughter. How rarely he requested special consideration. Instead of understanding, Vernon dismissed his concerns. The conversation quickly escalated. Years of frustration boiled to the surface. Years of sacrifices. Years of missed family moments. Years of feeling invisible. For the first time, Micah stood up for himself. He realized something painful. If he stayed, he would continue sacrificing pieces of his life that could never be replaced. Work could always find another meeting. His daughter would never get another childhood. So he did something nobody expected. He resigned. Immediately. Without negotiation. Without hesitation. He gathered his belongings and walked away. That evening, Micah sat proudly in the front row of area school auditorium. Sunlight streamed through the windows as children filled the stage. When Arya stepped forward holding her certificate and saw her father smiling in the audience, her face lit up with pure joy. The moment was priceless. No paycheck could equal it. No promotion could replace it. For the first time in years, Micah felt at peace. But peace didn't eliminate reality. The following week brought uncertainty. Bills still existed. Rent still needed to be paid. Groceries still needed to be purchased. Single parents don't have the luxury of ignoring responsibilities. Micah quietly began searching for new opportunities while trying not to worry Arya. Meanwhile, trouble was spreading through the company. Within days of his departure, operational problems began appearing everywhere. Projects stalled. Communication broke down. Customer complaints increased. Deadlines were missed. What leadership soon discovered shocked them. Micah had been holding together far more than anyone realized. His experience, professionalism, and willingness to help others had become the invisible foundation supporting multiple departments. Without him, cracks began appearing everywhere. The person who noticed most was the company's CEO, Celeste Harrington. Celeste had spent 20 years building the organization from a struggling regional operation into a national success story. She cared deeply about people. But as the company grew, layers of management created distance between leadership and employees. When reports about declining performance crossed her desk, one name appeared repeatedly. Micah Turner. Employees mentioned him. Clients mentioned him. Team leaders mentioned him. Everyone seemed to agree on one thing. Losing Micah had hurt the company. Curious, Celeste ordered a review. The findings disturbed her. She discovered multiple complaints regarding Vernon's leadership style. High turnover. Low morale. Employee burnout. Most troubling of all, she realized one of her best employees had walked away because nobody bothered listening. Celeste decided to investigate personally. 2 days later, she drove to Micah's neighborhood. The afternoon sun bathed the modest apartment complex in warm golden light. Children played basketball near the parking lot. Families sat on porches enjoying the beautiful weather. There she found Micah. He wasn't updating resumes. He wasn't complaining about his former employer. He was teaching Arya how to ride a bicycle without training wheels. The sight stopped Celeste in her tracks. Every time the little girl wobbled, Micah ran beside her. Every time she became discouraged, he encouraged her. Every time she fell, he helped her stand again. The scene revealed more about his character than any performance review ever could. When Arya finally rode several yards on her own, she laughed so loudly that nearby neighbors applauded. Micah looked happier than any executive Celeste had seen all year. In that moment, she understood something important. This wasn't merely a valuable employee. This was a remarkable human being. Their conversation lasted hours. Not in a boardroom. Not across a conference table. But on a simple park bench beneath a clear daytime sky. For the first time, someone truly listened to Micah's story. He spoke about balancing work and fatherhood. About grief. About sacrifice. About the impossible choices many single parents face. Celeste listened carefully. The more she heard, the more convinced she became that the company needed him. Not because of what he did. Because of who he was. She didn't just offer him his old job back. She offered him something entirely different. A leadership position focused on employee development, mentorship, and workplace culture. She wanted someone who understood people. Someone who understood compassion. Someone who understood that businesses succeed when employees feel valued. Months later, the transformation became visible throughout the company. Workplace satisfaction improved dramatically. Turnover declined. Employee morale increased. Flexible scheduling programs helped parents balance work and family responsibilities. The culture began changing from the inside out. And at the center of that change stood Micah. Not as a manager. Not as an executive. But as a leader. One sunny afternoon nearly a year later, the company hosted a family appreciation event at a large community park. Employees arrived with spouses, children, and loved ones. Laughter filled the air. Music played softly. Families shared meals beneath bright blue skies. As Micah watched Arya running across the grass with other children, he felt something he hadn't experienced in a very long time. Hope. Not just for himself. For everyone around him. Because sometimes standing up for yourself creates opportunities you never imagined. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and leave a comment below. Your support helps more people discover stories about resilience, family, and second chances. Special request: comment, "Family is priceless," if you believe no career success is worth sacrificing the people who matter most. As the golden afternoon sunlight illuminated the park and Arya ran into her father's arms, Micah realized a truth he would carry forever. The most important decisions in life are rarely the easiest ones. Sometimes doing what's right requires walking away from what feels safe. Sometimes courage means risking everything for what truly matters. And sometimes the greatest opportunities appear only after we refuse to settle for less than the respect, dignity, and balance every person deserves. Because in the end, jobs come and go. Titles come and go. Money comes and goes. But the moments we share with the people we love become memories that last forever. And those memories are worth more than anything a company could ever offer.